Hi, it's Julie from Fitimize. I'm here to go over some plantar fasciitis moves. So if you woke up with some pins and needles in your feet, I got some stretches for you today. So before we get started, if you have a few tools laying around, that'd be fantastic. If you have a peanut, 2 tennis balls wrapped in duct tape will work. And also if you have a lacrosse ball or tennis ball, that'll help. And if you have an MB5 ball, these are my favorite tools to help you release the plantar fasciitis. So what is plantar fasciitis? It's basically the bottom of your feet are really tight because your fascia, you have fascial lines all through your body, and what's going on is that they're all locked up, they're gummy, and so what we got to do is loosen them up. A lot of times people have pain in their feet, but that's actually not where it's coming from. Pain usually actually is coming from the hip. So what we want to do is we're going to try to work on releasing a few of those. A lot of times, a lot of people have pain in their what's called your QL, so muscles right here, your deep abdominal muscle in your back. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the peanut to help release our spine and get us into spinal extension to do that. We'll do a few QL stretches, and then I'll show you some trigger points that you can work on to help you release any pain that you have, any pain in the heels in particular with plantar fasciitis, or if you have pins and needles at the bottom of your foot. A lot of times your feet are very they're just tired of being in foot coffins, so you need to go barefoot, okay? So what we're gonna do with the peanut, you're just gonna grab your peanut. We're gonna start at the base of the spine. I'll go this way so you can see me, but basically you're gonna lay down, put it at the base of your spine, and all I want you to do is you're gonna drop your knees side to side. We're just gonna do a few of these, okay? Then what I'm gonna do is I use my elbows, lift the hips, and roll the peanut up my spine, okay? So I wish I had a glass floor to help you with this. Just move it up. Your shirt may get caught, and that's totally normal, okay? So I'm just gonna drop side to side, roll it up my spine. I don't need to spend too much time, but when you get to about your middle of the rib cage is where it probably gets tender. So you can actually rock side to side this way, spend a little bit more time or tension. You might feel pressure on one side versus the other. You can spend some time there. Keep working your way up. Again, rock side to side, keep going, rock side to side. Go right up to the base of your neck. So you'll see it's right up here in my neck, so I can rock side to side here, keep my head on the ground. So if you're doing this, I'm gonna rock back. If you're doing this and your bum or your head doesn't touch the floor, so you want to try to get it to touch the floor, okay? So you don't want to be like sitting in this position here and be like, I can't touch, okay? So you want to be able to relax, let it melt, let the peanut melt into your spine so that your back can get into that extension. So usually you're gonna be tender like right about mid-back right here. So if I put the lacrosse balls or tennis balls right here and just hang out and breathe. So focus on your breath and put your hands on your belly. So in for 4, so inhale, fill your belly. So go inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and exhale for 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Feel the core grab on when you're doing this. You should be able to melt. If you do that 3 times, that should be able to help you melt. It'll feel pretty good. Cool? So start off with that peanut to help loosen up the spine. First QL stretch I like to do is basically when we start off, I like to call this a tick-tock or a 4-core. What we're going to do is we're going to drop our knees side to side. Okay, so we're going to go with one knee only. Put this leg out to the side. I'm going to drop a knee to the in and then to the out. Drop the knee in and out. So you're going to feel a little bit of tightness going on in the hip. Okay, so again, we're just trying to unglue the fascia in the hips all the way down to the feet so that our feet don't feel those pins and needles. Okay, so then we go the other side. Okay, so pin the shoulders back. If you're up on your fingertips like so, we want to pin the shoulders back, and then we're just going to drop one knee in. Just hold this leg out here. Keep it up so this leg won't, you don't want to let this leg move. So I'm just going to move the one leg out and in. Keep the other knee pointing up to the sky. So here, keeping this knee up to the sky, pin this knee down, bring it down, and open it up. So see how my hips lifted? Don't let the hips lift. So you're just going to try to keep your hips planted to the floor and drop side to side, just rocking on your heel, in and out. Now let's add both. So drop to the side, pin the shoulders back, drop to the side. Just roll on your heels. So you shouldn't be moving. I see a lot of people do this, and what happens is that they actually like slide forward or backwards. Keep your toes up to the sky, roll from your heel, try to pin it to the floor, roll to the heels, pin it to the floor. You're going to feel one side a little bit tighter, so we can keep working on this. Just do a few of those. Now what I want to do is we're going to add that actual QL. So what I want you to do is drop your knees to the side. So your knees are at 90. You're at 90. I'm going to take this hand and reach on up over my ear. Feel the stretch down the side here. Feel that stretch. Good. Come to the other side. Feel that stretch. Other side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to my elbow, take this hand, reach over my ear, put it behind my ear, touch my elbow to the floor, and then come on up, open that up. Down, up, down, up. Good. Make sure when you're doing this that the knees stay pinned to the floor, okay? So I don't want this knee to lift up. So I reach up over, I'm down on my elbow. Okay, so a sideways view, show you here. Okay, I'm like this. I'm gonna put my hand behind my ear, drop down and up, down and up. Cool. Last one I want you to try is, I'll show you from the side view, is we're gonna do the rotation. So I'm gonna go over here, pin my knees down to the floor. I'm gonna rotate all the way around, drop my nose to the floor, come back up. Okay, so I'm gonna try to go all the way around, like turn around as far as I can, and then drop. Go to your level, okay? So the whole thing is that a lot of people are like gonna force it. If you feel pain when you're doing this, you shouldn't feel pain, okay? So go to where you can. You're just trying to find that new range of motion, but try not to let this back knee lift. So we're just down here, lift up, okay? Drop to the other side, rotate, drop your knee down, or drop your nose down, keep your knees pinned to the floor, okay? So I really like that, cue ball stretch. Another one we can do to help loosen up the X, so basically getting the shoulder and the opposite hip to connect, is called the glute bridge reach. So what we're gonna do is keep your shoulder this way, and I'll flip around. What you're gonna do is you're gonna pin your shoulders. So this is where I like to take my little trusty tennis ball or my ball. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift my hips, I'm gonna take this ball, take it up, and I'm gonna reach up and over, and then come back down. I need another ball over here, but that's okay. Lift my hips, pin the shoulder, up and reach. So I'm gonna show you reverse. So I put the ball to my side here. Okay, so I'm gonna lift up, take my ball, pin the shoulder, and put it as far away from me as possible. Lift my hips, pin the shoulder, and reach. Now this time I'm gonna go back, lift my hips, up and reach, grab the ball, come back down, up, reach, and grab the ball, and come back down. Okay, that's a great exercise to help loosen up the X, so pinning this shoulder and this hip. So a lot of times we're tighter on one side versus the other, so this allows us to rotate a little bit more, okay? So those are some good stretches to start off with in terms of loosening up your plantar fasciitis. Next we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our MB5 ball. If you don't have one, try to use your tennis ball, that'll work as well. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit on it, okay? So you're just gonna put your hands behind you, sit, find that tender spot you got, okay? And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna drop your knee up and down, okay? So again, we're hanging out here for a little bit to feel a melt, so you can kind of move around, feel the tender spot. So usually we're tight, very tight on the glute medius, so more outside of the hip, we'll get down to the outside of your hip called your TFL. The glute medius is gonna be really tender. A lot of people with plantar fasciitis, the glute medius tends to get all gummy and locked up and doesn't move very well, so we're just gonna try to grease that up a little bit. Shake off the rust, okay? If you can, bring the knee up to your nose. If you can do this, it might be super tender. You're like, hell no, Julie, this is not happening today. That's okay, work to your level, cool? Okay, next what I want you to do is come down to your elbow, and we're gonna turn your hip. So you're gonna put the ball, so if I'm facing you, you're like this, okay? The ball's gonna be right here. I want you to put that ball right on the side of your hip, point that hip down, again, bring the knee to your nose, okay? If you have pain in the shoulder, there's not really much alternative. You can do this against the wall, or you can you have to be down your elbow so you can get right on that hip. So the key here is just drop the knee. If you just have to hang out here, that's okay too, okay? So you're just trying to keep the shoulder down though. I don't want the shoulder touching the ear. So you're trying to brace under here. Let the gravity do its thing by dropping your hip down to the floor and just breathe, okay? Let it melt for about 30 to 60 seconds. This is gonna be super sucky, okay? If you're plantar fasciitis and hip pain, foot pain, it travels right up into this hip. This is gonna suck, okay? So just take your time with it, and then we can go over to the other side. Just show you real quick. So again, glute med. Show you from this angle. I'm gonna sit on it, kind of turn my side. Again, hang out, find the tender spot. I can focus on my breathing. Inhale, exhale. Oh yeah, hello. Yep, let's get some blood flow in there. Okay, you can wiggle the knee up and down, all that fun stuff. Okay, drop it down, turn to the side. So basically, again, my hips are ready to feel my hip bones. Okay, go right to the outside. There's a little muscle right here. Okay, it attaches to your IT band, which goes down the side. We don't roll out our IT bands because you need 1,000 pounds of pressure. So I don't know if you have 1,000 pounds laying around your house that you can put on the side of your leg to actually loosen that up. I don't, so I'm not gonna bother with it. I'm gonna go above. So we're gonna use that TFL, cool? So we're gonna lay on that TFL, Okay, again, you can use this like to brace, get this shoulder down, hang out, put that pressure down, keep that hip pointed right down, and breathe. Bring that knee up to your nose here. You can wiggle the knee up here, up, down, all that kind of stuff. Just try to get some movement in there if you can. If you can't move, that's cool. Just listen to your body. Cool? Next one we're gonna go to is the front of the hip. So I have my hip bone right here. I'm gonna go down right into like just below the hip bone, okay? So I'm gonna go face down. Again, we're just trying to loosen everything up. Plantar fasciitis, it actually starts up a little bit, much higher in the leg that you think. So I'm gonna roll around, find my tender spot. Hopefully you can see me okay here. See that? And then what I'm gonna do is bring my knee to my nose, okay? And breathe and let gravity do its thing, okay? And then I'm gonna just work my way down the thigh. So again, if I have too much, if this hurts my thigh too much, quads tend to be very, very tender. And you see me here, come down this way. Quads tend to be very tender for people who sit at desks a lot, okay? So if you have to keep your knee on the ground, but I like to add movement, so I'm not necessarily foam rolling, I'm actually just working on the trigger point. So I'm just trying to find all the tender spots along the fascial line, okay? So I'm just gonna work my way down the thigh. Again, breathe in and out here, and then I'm gonna go right to the inside of the thigh, just like so, okay? We're gonna go in and out here. Okay, so again, the spots that I just did, I did the hip, roll down to just roll down, and then I went to the inside of the knee. Now we're gonna keep going down the thigh. So if I pull up my pants, see, you're gonna go, there's gonna be a spot right here. You have a bone right here, you're gonna go just below that bone. Put that ball or tennis ball you have, put your hand on top, and we're gonna roll it here, find that tender spot, and now you're gonna move your ankle. Just pin your hand here, roll that ankle around, and around she goes. Wherever she stops, nobody knows. Cool, find that tender, so go extension, flexion, extension. So push your toes up to your nose and down, up, inversion, eversion. Hey, hey.
Hey.
How are you? I'm just doing a Facebook Live, or Instagram Live. You can be a part of it too. Let's talk about plantar fasciitis. And then, now what we're gonna do is we did this one, and we're gonna go middle of the calf. Okay, so what I do is put it right in the middle of my calf. Here, it's like the ball's around the opposite side. I'm gonna put my other leg on top, and again, I'm gonna add that movement with my ankle. So typically with trigger point, you wanna move the joint above and below, okay? Flex and extend, find that tender spot. So again, spend 30 seconds to about a minute. You don't need to spend too much time. If you spend too much time, more is not better with this stuff. So a lot of people, contrary to popular belief, think, oh yeah, it hurts now, but afterward it feels good, so I should do more. Not necessarily. So I'm like, I don't like to spend more than 2 minutes on the spot. Okay, and now we're gonna do the famous plantar fasciitis spot. So you have this muscle called the soleus right here. So we're gonna go right at the base of that calf muscle. You're gonna point that foot in, okay? So you're gonna do this, put the other leg on top. You can do it if you're really tender without the pressure. You don't need to put the pressure, but put that, I like to pin it to win it, and then move that ankle around. Cool, so just move it around, flex and extend. It's very, very tender, I'm not gonna lie, especially if you're using toe coffins all day long. So if you're not barefoot at all, your feet don't have the ability to really loosen up that fascia, okay? So we're gonna loosen up all that. And then finally, you're gonna take that, where'd my ball go? Okay, we're gonna do the bottom of your foot for plantar fasciitis. So plantar fasciitis starts at the bottom of the heel. You know you have it if you walk on your heels and you're like, I can't do that. Or you step in, step down, and you got pins and needles. That's not good. So what we're gonna do is we're going to put the ball right at the base of the foot. We're gonna push down 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna roll, roll, and she goes rolling. Now middle of the foot, 1, 2, 3. It's probably very tender here. 1. Again, be kind to yourself. You don't have to punish yourself, anything like that. And then we're gonna go to the heel, push down, toe goes down, push the heel down. 1, 2, be kind. 3, and roll. Okay. And now what I'd like to do, which one of the 3 was the most tender? Me, middle of the foot. I'm gonna go to the middle, I'm gonna hang out here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flex and extend my toes. I'm gonna try to get the fascia to loosen up, get some blood flow underneath there, and get things moving and all that stuff. Okay, so then you can just roll it out. I like to roll inside of the foot like this. So you see my foot's kind of pigeon-toed here, inside of the foot, and then I like to roll the baby toe as well. Trying to roll all the different parts of the foot. And again, that pressure down, being kind to yourself, flex and extend. Okay, that flex and extension, just trying to get that movement. So it's all about moving the joint. So find the trigger point and then move the joint above or below it to try to get the blood flow, to get the brain to understand, oh, You want me to move this part of my body and get blood flow here. So we need to bypass that dam or that adhesion that has developed. Okay, so those are all some stretches that you can do to help you with plantar fasciitis. If you have any questions, please let me know. I really appreciate you being here. For those of you that showed up and listened in, I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, I'm Julie from Vitamize. Thanks so much for being here. If you have any other questions, please let me know. I'm here to help you get rid of those niggles, wiggles, and those aches and pains. All right, have a good one. Thanks.